New Zealand has a saying, Aotearoa, which means the land of the long white cloud. Unfortunately, there's darkness that overshadows. We have our problems like every other country does. Our immorality, our worship of false gods, our despair and brokenness. Casualty rates for missionaries here is very concerning. It almost seems to be the land of the long dark cloud. But what makes New Zealand so dark is not its sin, but its absence of light. New Zealand is closing its doors for missionaries, and not just us, but the gateway to the South Pacific. So we need your help.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Raelene.
And we're the Walkers, Team Missionaries to New Zealand. In 1998, the Walker family arrived on the shores of New Zealand for the very first time. As a little boy, I was unaware of the huge burden God was getting ready to plant in my heart. The streets of Auckland are filled with broken lives. As a result of our brokenness, we have the highest teen suicide rate in the entire world. It is the darkness that this country faces that compels me to take the gospel there. After answering the call to this field, I prayed and God brought Raelene into my life.
When I was 15, just after my first missions trip, I surrendered to missions. Over the next few years and several missions trips, I prayed, and through that, God brought Ben into my life. What burdens me the most is to see the many lives that have been overshadowed by darkness. New Zealand has been swept with bondage to many religions. This is why I believe that this country has never been more ready for the gospel than now.
Despite all this darkness, God is on the move in the country of New Zealand. One of the ways that we have seen God move is through the privilege of teaming with national pastors and missionaries. We have seen God move at the many camps that we have put on for the young people. We have seen souls saved and families put back together, and we have seen young people surrendering to full-time ministry. This last year, we were privileged to be a part of something amazing that God did in our community. We were able to pass out $750,000 in donated food. God opened many doors into the hearts and lives of people in our surrounding communities. As a result, we saw souls saved and families added to the church. Raelene and I had the privilege this last year of heading up the youth and college-age ministries. Through that, we were able to disciple, train, and mentor up to 30 young people. It is our strong belief that it is this next generation of Christians that is going to carry forward the church. Another way that we have seen God move is in the many young men and women that have surrendered to the Lord. Right now, we like to share the faces of the lives that have been touched by Christ.
Now I'm saved and I've surrendered my life to ministry and I have a heart for missions.
And now I'm a leader for the college-age ministry.
And now I'm learning to trust God with my fears.
Ben and Ray have taught me to be a faithful servant unto the Lord.
And now I'm saved and all of my family.
And now I no longer worship false gods. I worship the one true God.
I've surrendered to the ministry full-time and now I'm teaching to the youth department.
This last January, our baptism service was threatened by one of the worst torrential rainstorms we have ever seen. But what made this day so significant was what it represented. God began to plant a burden in the heart of the Manu brothers that they would take the gospel back to their village in the Cook Islands. The Manu family already has access to the country. They've donated the land. They are simply waiting for our return so that we can train and equip a team for the Cook Island project. And so what New Zealand needs right now is your help. Firstly, we need your prayers. That God would continue to open the hearts of the people that He has called us to minister to in the South Pacific. And also, that God would bless the church plant project in the Cook Islands in year 2012. Secondly, we need more leaders. We already have multiple students that are awaiting ministry training upon our return. But what New Zealand needs more of is the next generation of Christians to answer God's calling on their lives to the ministry. Lastly, we need your help. Our newest research reveals that in the next few years, Christianity and the church will almost be non-existent on this field. This is why we believe that it is vital to reach New Zealand now. We need churches that will partner with us financially so that we can continue ministering to the people of the South Pacific. Will you partner with us on this mission to reach and to evangelize this dark nation before it's too late?